Oh, classic. The Bret the Hitman Hart theme song. Good old Bret Hart. One of only two good things to ever come out of Cowtown. Him and Highway 2.
Those Calgarians, I don't know how they do it when they have their dietary nutrition of chicken nuggets and Coors Light, but you know what? If that's what a bunch of people can survive on, good on them. What's going on? This is the Section O podcast. We are less than 24 hours away from the West Final, Rory.
Are we excited or what? Oh my God, Section GP is gonna explode.
Never mind the West Final last year, because we had to get to the semifinal, and then we had to win that to get to the West Final in Calgary.
Yeah.
But now that we're hosting it at 14-4, would you not say that this is the biggest game in 10 years?
Pretty much.
Yes.
I mean, you had a 2011 West Final in Vancouver. We had to win a semifinal against Calgary to get to that one. We had playoff games in 2008 and 2009. Those were all big games. We haven't been back to the Cup in 10 years. We finished first in the league. Yeah, this is the biggest game in 10 years. So that we can get to the even bigger game the week after. Here we go.
I think the last time the Eskimos had more than 14 wins was in 1989, where they went 16-2. So this is kind of history-making as well.
Yep.
And this is also history-making for the Canadian Football League. Never before has two 14-4 teams met in the West Final.
This is historic. This is the two best teams in the league smashing each other in the face for the West Division Championship.
You're a big wrestling fan. I'm a big wrestling fan. Dave Campbell, color guy, 630 Ched for the Eskimos. He's a wrestling fan. Hopefully he listens to this show. But as good old JR would say, business is about to pick up.
That's right.
Two teams are going to kick the shit out of each other to get to the Grey Cup. And hopefully it's the Eskimos kicking the shit out of Calgary.
It is going to be the Eskimos kicking the living shit out of Calgary. That's how this has to go down. This is our time. This franchise, this group of players, and all of us as fans, we've been waiting for this for 364 frickin' days.
Because it was a kind of a demoralizing loss last year in the West Final in Calgary.
Yeah, it was terrible.
You know, Mike Riley's leg was held together with chewing gum and duct tape. So, and, you know, as much as I love Matt Nichols, he never got the job done. And our defense kind of played like shit a little bit. But you know what? This is a brand new year. 21 days off. I don't care what anybody says. That benefited the Eskimos. We're rested. We're hungry. And Bo Levi Mitchell, you are standing behind a patchwork O-line. So the Eskimo defense stunting hard as fuck on you, and you're going to get a lot of pressure. And I really hope you wash that jersey, because it's going to see a lot of grass stains come the end of that game.
That's right. Bo Levi Mitchell getting ready to eat turf sandwiches for 3 hours straight, followed by an off-season of sadness and depression. This is the end of the success for the Calgary Stampeders. We are finally putting an end to it. It's such a great feeling. I'm so excited. Our defense is going to come out flying. We come out as a team, and yes, it was a bit of a different roster and a different scenario with injuries and whatever last year in the West Division Final. No excuses, though. Our team didn't play well enough. We came out. We just weren't on it. We were down by a whole bunch of points early. We could never recover. And honestly, I'm not making any claims saying that we deserved to win that game. The team didn't play well, and they got their asses whipped, like I just said.
But why not us? Why not us this year?
Why not us? 360-plus days in the making.
I've got the updated ticket count right now from the Eskimos.
Okay.
They are sitting... we're recording this show Friday night at 10 o'clock. I've got the updated tickets, so you'll be listening to the show on Saturday. We are at 31,000 tickets sold, Rory.
All right. We need to get more. We need more.
Do you have any...
More!
Do you have any advice to the 31,000 coming to the game on Sunday?
My advice to the 31,000 coming is cherish the moment. This is a division championship game on our home turf. It just doesn't happen often enough. You know what I mean? You got to step it up and get loud and get crazy. Embrace it. Embrace it. When other professional sports teams in the city of Edmonton play in the playoffs, it is embraced at the utmost. This needs to happen with the Canadian football franchise as well. It's time to go absolutely nuts and enjoy this and cherish this. Cherish this. This is just a huge opportunity for this franchise in our city. Let's go get it. We need to buy tickets and come out here and go crazy.
You know what? I haven't seen a hype for this game since last year during the Eskimos Riders game where we called them horrible human beings on the radio. I have not seen buzz in the city for this game. The Oilers are on board. The mayor's on board. Calgary's mayor's got a bet with Don Iveson. The fire department had a tweet the other day. I've seen Edmonton police with a car flag on one of their... There is a buzz in this city for the West Final. And you know what? It's about time that the Eskimos got their fair share, because I don't care what anybody says. The Oilers, during their season to kind of dominate the media waves. But this is the West Final.
Yep.
The Eskimos are the team right now, okay?
Yep.
This is the hottest ticket in town, Rory.
That's right.
And speaking of the hottest ticket in town, for people that may not know, Section GP, you're coming to the game.
We're coming to the game. It's been a challenging year personally. Getting to Edmonton physically hasn't been easy. And with the team effort of yourself, as well as Daryl from Section Peace River, as well as a good friend of mine, Jason in Drumheller, and us, and the support and love of everyone else, the team effort has resulted in Melanie and I joining you all for this epic division championship game. We are freaking overwhelmed. This is outstanding. I can't believe we're going to be there. And it's
for
just
the biggest game of the year.
For the biggest game of the year. The biggest game you can even imagine. So, sometimes, hard work, perseverance, and having a good attitude and just having the right priorities and doing the right thing, karma, whatever, it all pays off. And it's all paid off in a way, and we're all work together, and we appreciate everyone's help so much. And we're just blessed and honored and feel very fortunate that we're going to be able to take in this game with you guys and go absolutely bananas. Like, absolutely bananas. I'm actually somewhat concerned. This is a playoff game, so you're going to go more bananas than usual. Everyone's supposed to go crazy. The thing that some of you might not realize, because you don't actually watch the football games with me, I'm watching them is I'm crazy, and I am going to actually frighten a few of you for 3.5 hours on Sunday afternoon. I hope that's okay.
We've already pre-warned the security guards. You'd be like, no, he is not high on meth. He is regularly like this during the game, so not to worry. Like we said before, this was a combined effort from myself, Daryl, your buddy down in Drumheller. Rory, believe it or not, this might be shocking to some people, but for the amount of time that we've known each other, we've actually never sat together at a football game before.
That's right. We always either sit somewhere else or it just doesn't, it just never worked out that way, and we hang out before and after and so on. But so this is a first for that, and it's going to be amazing.
Tell me, and some of the other people that are listening to this podcast that might want to join into this freak show up in Section O, Roll 65 if you're coming, by the way, what are we to expect from Section GP Sunday, November 22nd, Roy?
Simply put, every single down, just freaking out about everything. What you think is, not you, but what most people might think is a fairly mediocre, non-important 2-yard run might actually be very important vocally for me, or what have you. A 1st and 10 run stop on defense, holding them to a 1-yard gain or a 1-yard loss. I'm going to freak out like we just won the Grey Cup on that play. Like, that's just the way I am. So
you're hard as fuck every down.
Yeah. Hard as fuck every down, and I don't need to explain anymore.
Do you have to go to your doctor for cardiopulmonary medication before every football game, or
there could have been
now times that by 10 that you're actually going to be at the West Final?
But there could be an argument to be made for that. But through a lot of lifestyle improvements and some weight loss, I'm actually feeling pretty good about it. I kind of prepped myself up pretty good.
Now, Rory, some of the things that people are going to ask me is you're coming down from GP, and with the cooperation that we've had with other people getting into this game, we're actually sending you on a Greyhound to Valley View.
Right.
Which for people that don't know is an hour out of Grand Prairie, and then Section Peace River is going to, because he comes from Peace River, and Valley View, it works in a big V. He's going to pick you up at the terminal there.
That's right.
But for the people that have watched FUBAR, and they're going to want to know, you're on the Greyhound to Valley View. Are you at the back of the bus? Are you in the finger bang seat? You going to take the finger bang seat?
Yeah, we might take advantage of that. I think it's not a bad idea. I mean, it is only an hour, and it is at about 7 in the morning or what have you. But I think a good 60-minute seat in the old finger bangaroo there, FUBAR style, that's not a bad idea.
The only time I've ever rode in a Greyhound was to Grand Forks, BC, and it was 2004, and the finger bang seat, it was next to the washroom, it was 3 across, and the bus was empty, so I laid down all across all 3 seats, and I slept probably about 15 of the 17 hours to the trip to Grand Forks, BC. So anybody that's on a Greyhound, you definitely have to hit up the finger bang seat at the back of the bus. Now, Rory, it's the West Final. And we've probably said that 300 times in this entire podcast, but it just shows you how jacked up we are for this.
We're so jacked up, like, I don't even know. I actually feel like I have to hold it back in order to sit down and converse for a podcast.
In our pre-podcast ramblings, we were talking 7 different running backs this year have touched the ball.
Yeah.
It's not a cold weather game, but it's going to be a little windy. The running game is definitely going to play a factor into this. Tell me where we are with Akeem Shaver starting this football game versus Shakir Bell, who is out on injury.
Where are we at with the Akeem Shavers? I think that through a lot of hard work with our coaching staff and himself and our offensive line and everybody, I think we're well prepared to execute all the running plays that we need to do. I think we're good to go. I think as long as we execute the game plan, I think there's nothing wrong with the personnel we have in the running game.
You know what? Okay. A lot of fingers have been pointed towards the Eskimos offense this year. You know, the failure to put up points, the horseshoes out of the ass to pull games out of, the final seconds of the fourth quarter. Yeah. Enough of that. I want Bo Levi Mitchell to run for his fucking life in this game.
Well, you're going to get what you want.
Because Calgary's got a patchwork offensive line. And the only way to beat the Eskimos is to throw the ball downfield. However, Bo Levi Mitchell needs at least 3.5 seconds. And with his O-line in front of him that's been depleted through injuries, Odell Willis, Willie Jefferson, Marcus Howard, your front three, Armando Sewell. Okay? Now let's put in our linebackers if we're going to stunt a little bit. Dion Lacey, J.C. Sherritt, Dexter McCoyle. Bo Levi Mitchell, you're fucked. You are fucked. You're running for your life. Flush Bo Levi Mitchell out of the pocket. Do the short slants out to the sidelines on the 5 yards up. Rory, if I'm Bo Levi Mitchell, I am trembling. I don't know if you've seen pictures of our defensive front lately, but these are big, massive guys.
I don't need photos. I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
And they're going to chase him down the field.
Yeah.
And they're going to take his stupid comb-over haircut that he's got, and they're going to drive that son of a bitch right down, face first, into the frozen turf at Commonwealth Stadium. Fuck you, Bo Levi Mitchell.
We're going to get him.
We're going to get him.
He's going to be flushed out. He's going to be sacked. He's going to be rushed. You know what? I'm not disputing anything you said, but I'm actually going to give the Stampeders some credit here.
Bro, come on.
Hold on a minute. I'm not going to base our success in this game because of some injuries they have at linemen. Just like how I don't think their fan base or their team should have any confidence on this game because of a 20-day layoff that the other team has. They have already battled through a lot of injuries on the O-line all year, as did we, and they've done well. Your point still stands. Your point is excellent. Their O-line, despite being depleted, they still have 5 linemen that are going to suit up and play, and those 5 linemen are still pretty frickin' good.
Those fucking 5 linemen are a goddamn turnstile, and you know it.
Well, we're going to find out. I hope what I'm saying gets nixed. I'm trying to give them a little credit here. By no means does our defensive team actually go, oh, well, so-and-so or Berglund or whoever's hurt. They're not going to be extra cocky or anything just because of that. But we need to take advantage of maybe some of the inexperience that they have and exploit that and go ahead and get to Bo Levi. What I'm getting at furthermore, though, Bo Levi will, at one point or another, he will get the ball out several times during the game, whether we want to believe it or not. And when that happens, we also have a secondary that's ready to cover, ready to tackle, ready to bat balls down, ready to blitz when needed, and ready to whip some ass.
Well, you know what, Rory? We're going to bring in Randy McDonald. He's an Eskimos fan living down in Calgary.
Isn't he?
Section YYC, my friend. Randy McDonald is an Eskimo fan down in Calgary. Tell me, what is the torture and the stress level being a fan of the green and gold and a fan of the Oilers and living down in enemy territory in the red and white?
It's a lot of fun having to wear the black hat, especially when we're successful. Still been a great deal of success with the Eskimos in the period of time that I've lived here since 1998. However, recent history would suggest otherwise. This year, we're going to turn the tables. It's our turn, baby.
That's right. Rory, we were just talking earlier. Why not us?
Why not us?
So, Randy, it's been since 2005 since the Eskimos have won the Grey Cup, since we've been to the Grey Cup game. Why not us, right?
That's right. It's our turn. We have all the weapons necessary to make it happen.
Rising star in Darrell Walker has kind of overcame Adarius Bowman as the number 1 receiver, and Adarius Bowman is still an offensive threat, but Darrell Walker was kind of that sleeper cell for a while because he was on the practice roster for 8 weeks, and then he just gets on by the grace of God with an injury and then just starts lighting the league up. Calgary's offensive line, they can't hold a candle to our front defense. Our offense, Darrell Walker, Darius Bowman, you got top Canadians, Nate Kuhorn, Shamad Chambers. We have all the tools to win this football game on Sunday.
Absolutely. And that has been a big concern within the media all week talking about the condition of Calgary's offensive line, because everything begins on offense from the offensive line out. As we know, their running game, the passing game, everything, right? It doesn't matter how good the weapons are down the field for receiving. If Bo Levi Mitchell doesn't have time to make a pass, it doesn't matter. With the number of changes they've had to make on the offensive line this week, I really don't know if their running game is going to be as dynamic as they had anticipated.
I don't think Calgary's running game is going to be all that dynamic either.
Well, because John Cornish is out with an injury again, and they made that stellar trade for Jerome Messam. The Eskimos have always played well against Jerome Messam.
We also play well against football teams.
Yeah, that's right. We are 14-4 for a reason, right?
We eat up block, and we shut people down into the ground, hard, fast.
Really, the only running back right now that I'd be scared to face would have been Harris from BC, and we know where he is right now. So I really don't overconfident that I'm going to guarantee victory, because it is football.
Oh yeah.
We've seen a lot of crazy things happen, but this is as good of a chance we have to get to the Grey Cup as we've had in a decade.
I'm ready to bring the noise, guys. I went to Safeway this afternoon and bought some sleeping pills, because tomorrow night, and by tomorrow night I mean tonight, because you guys are listening to this podcast on Saturday afternoon, I'm not going to be able to sleep.
Nope.
I'm really not. I might as well shoot up a fucking needle full of meth, because kiss a good night's sleep away, because I am that jacked up for this game. Randy, you're coming up from Calgary. What are your feelings going into this game?
First Grey Cup I'm going to that the Eskimos could very well be featured in. Coming to this game on Sunday means everything to me. All I can say about that.
Yeah.
The only Grey Cup that I've witnessed, and I've had season tickets since 2002, and I'm looking at the ticket stub right now, was actually the 2002 Grey Cup, Eskimos versus Montreal, but I was only 15 years old, and I didn't give a shit at the time. I don't think I can handle, at 28 years old, knowing what I know now about the Canadian Football League, being down in Winnipeg in 5 days from now, I don't think my heart or my brain can handle a Eskimos Grey Cup on the road. And you know how we party on the road, Randy.
It's going to be crazy.
You had to miss out the Saturday night because you went a little too hard on Friday, and then you were just dancing and you just got a funk in your brain, or what happened there?
No, I ended up with the flu. I was flat out for about 40 hours.
Because I remember texting you, I'm like, Randy, we're here. Where are you at? No response.
I've gone hard before and felt the effects of that, but no, this was completely different. I had fever. I was voiding through various parts of the body.
Well, I mean, once you discover what Sailor Jerry does to your liver and does to your brain,
That's correct.
Randy, when are you flying into Grey Cup?
I will be arriving. I'm actually road tripping it.
You're driving that highway?
Yeah. So
oh my God.
I'm going to be leaving the city of Calgary Wednesday morning and driving to the city that rhymes with fun and spending the night there, and carrying on Thursday morning to Winnipeg. Should be arriving mid-afternoon. And
Rory, you went to the 2003 Grey Cup in Regina.
I sure did, and I loved it. Oh my God.
Now, Randy is staying overnight in Regina. Do you have any advice for Randy as to what he should expect in Regina?
But I'm glad you asked me. You were very fortunate. You had Stephanie and you you had some other people around you. I was all on my own, much like Randy will be, I guess. And
never walk the streets of Regina by yourself, by the way.
Don't walk through the streets of Regina by yourself wearing other CFL gear other than the Riders.
Right.
By yourself. And if you do, just make sure you have some sort of Pilsner voucher in your pocket to help offset the hatred that you're going to receive. And the other piece of advice I need to give you, Randy, is just get out. Get out. Like you're spending the night. Stop for a nap or something. Get out. Don't even. Why? Just
bypass Regina
a different place in Saskatchewan. Stop in North Battleford. Sleep in Turtleford.
Go to Moose Jaw. It's only 45 minutes away.
Go to Melville and have some nice candy with Jarrett Stoll.
Okay? Get out of Regina. Why are you staying in Regina? Just stop in Moose Jaw. Eskimo fans, if you're listening to this podcast right now, Randy is not allowed to stay in Regina Wednesday night of the Grey Cup. First of all, is the Riders aren't in the Grey Cup, so you know they're just ready to loot anybody that's wearing non-Rider colors. Number 2, stay in Moose Jaw. You don't need to stay. You don't have to stay in Regina. They got 2 streets, Albert Street and Victoriaville, or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. Regina fucking sucks. And if you're listening to this podcast, Regina fucking sucks. Let's get back to the West Final, guys.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest game in 10 years. What are we expecting from the noise level from you this game?
Oh, for me, I will be as hoarse leaving Commonwealth Stadium as I would be leaving like a Bryan Adams concert. Like, my lungs will be dead.
You know, the Eskimos have allowed air raid sirens, compressed horns, and megaphones into the stadium for this game, right?
They have. Excellent.
Yes. It is updated on the website. So, Eskimo fans, if you're listening, we're pulling out all the stops to bring the noise. As we said earlier in the podcast, I've got an updated number. 31,000 tickets sold so far.
I've also heard a rumor that the noise will begin shortly before kickoff, serenaded by a couple of CF-18s.
Everybody loves the flyover.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing gets you as pumped up for a football game when you get 2 fighter jets flying right over the stadium, full bore. And since we're speaking of that, were you guys at the 2002 Grey Cup?
I was.
Yes, I was.
Do you remember at halftime, nobody knew what was going on. They were delaying kickoff. And we're like, what's going on? Why are they delaying this kickoff? And then just this fighter jet out of nowhere, just right, like as close as you can come to that speaker. I fucking almost shit my pants.
I remember that. I was totally blown away. I was also blown away, and we weren't doing it out of disrespect to the amazingly talented Shania Twain. Out of the 60,000 of us, there was probably 20,000 of us that just were so amped up, and we were down 11-1 or 11-0 at the half. We were so amped up about the game situation, we were just chanting "Go Esks, go" for 25 minutes at half, not even paying attention to anything other than "Go Esks, go." It was awesome.
So, Randy, quickly now, have you been to any Stampeders not versus Eskimos this year at McMahon?
Negative. I actually I got called into service their display last Sunday, got offered a ticket to stay to watch the Western semifinal, and I declined.
Fuck that shit.
As nice as of a day as it was, just had no interest in sitting and watching the Stampeders play.
All right, well, this draws the Section O podcast to an end. Thank you, Rory. Thank you, Randy, for coming on. Everybody subscribe on YouTube. If you're not an Eskimo fan and you're just coming to the game casually, we've got one message to say. Rory, Randy, you know what that is? That's fuck you, Bo Levi Mitchell. Fuck your haircut. I hate you. Odell Willis and Willie Jefferson, Armando Seabell, and Marcus Howard are bringing down the pressure. I don't care how much time you've got to throw that football. You are laying down, face down on the turf. I hate you. I don't like the Stampeders. Fuck Alan Pitts. Fuck Dave Sapungis. Fuck Terry Vaughn when he played for the Stampeders. Fuck you, Mark McLaughlin. Fuck the entire Stampeders organization. I hope you all never win another Grey Cup for the rest of your life. Rory, Randy, hit me out of this podcast.
Go, Esks, go! Go, Esks, go!